Few days to go until Valentine's Day, a day many people probably have mixed emotions about.
That's right. For couples, it can be a romantic night on the town, but if you're single, it's a day you'd probably rather ignore. Here with advice for surviving Valentine's Day, if you are in a relationship or not, is local dating coach and relationship expert Kimberly Kohler. Nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
This is interesting. We're going to start with couples, and you say Valentine's Day can actually reveal holes in a relationship. So what does it reveal?
A lot of times people actually realize how their relationship has gone, maybe away from what they originally had dreamed it to be. And so it can be a little unnerving and actually cause discontent in a relationship and more discontent because there's such a weight put on people and expectation, especially unfortunately for the guys, that you're supposed to do X, Y, and Z. And what's really hard is because, especially at work, you get to see and you actually have a competition on who's getting what. And you start hearing, well, my husband's doing this or my boyfriend's doing that. So you have people to compare it to. So there is a resentment that ends up being created that we kind of perpetuate ourselves.
Well, especially if it's 364 days of not having that emphasis. And
Right.
so, I mean, it's a well-intentioned holiday,
Right.
I think, for people. And you say couples can use this to reconnect, maybe if those other 364 days
Correct.
have been less than ideal.
Correct. Because a lot of times, if you think about it, how do you start from 365 days and you have one day just to make it all? And there's a lot of pressure. If they're not doing it the rest of the time, they're going to really, really fail and come short on that one day. So the best thing that people can do is really just work on reconnecting and actually take time at the beginning of the month or even the middle of January and start planning it and start talking about it and actually conveying what your expectations are. So you don't fall short, but then also take and make sure that every week is Valentine's Day. You have a Valentine's Day every week. Start out with dates. Start out with actually connecting and giving yourself even hours of time as a couple every single day and sit down and take that quality time and actually have conversations. And you'll find your next Valentine's Day will be
A little nicer.
a little nicer.
Less pressure.
Right.
All right, so we were talking about couples now. Let's move on to singles. What can they do for Valentine's Day? I mean, is it your suggestion that people just go hide, or do they just embrace being a single?
Crawl into bed and just don't get up that day.
Get a pint of Haagen-Dazs and call it a day.
Right. The best thing that they can do actually is, again, plan ahead. If they're a person who wants flowers, it's send yourself some flowers. Go buy some flowers for yourself and send them to yourself. As well as taking and set up a date with your friends or pick people that you would enjoy going out with and then enjoy that loving relationship that you have and make sure that you're around positive people because that really impacts. If you're with people who are the anti-Valentine's Day, you're just going to feed off of the negative energy and it's just going to build and actually push you down versus building you up. So really keeping it positive is one of the biggest things that you can do and surround yourself with positivity.
As far as first dates go, for that single person who might be out looking and just, asking what's out there, you say schedule the first date not on Valentine's Day because, that, as you said, that's a lot of pressure. Maybe the 15th or 16th.
The 15th or 16th, absolutely, because there's no worse feeling than going into Valentine's Day, being single, having a first date on Valentine's Day, having it go south, going home and sitting there going, well, that didn't work, and just being reminded on how much you don't like being single. So it gives you something to look forward to, and then you're excited about something going into it, and so you don't really think about not being single as much on Valentine's Day.
Do something nice for yourself if you are not a couple. I like that. Thanks so much, dating coach and relationship expert Kimberly Kohler. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And to learn more about Kimberly and her services, check out our website, datingcoachmn.com.